All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a partnership that might just be the blueprint for the next generation of nuclear power. You know, it's all about that big question, how do you take a game-changing idea from the drawing board and actually build it? Let's get into it.
I mean, that's really the core problem for any company trying to do something totally new, right? You've got the vision, you've got the science all figured out. But then what? How do you actually turn those plans into a real, functioning power plant? It is a massive undertaking, and honestly, it can sink a company if you get it wrong.
And the solution? Well, it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. You just partner up. You take the brains behind the new tech, and you pair them with the muscle and the know-how of a company that just builds big stuff for a living. And that's exactly the strategy we're going to break down today. Okay, so first up, a new nuclear partnership. Let's start with the big announcement that really got the ball rolling on all of this.
So the big day was July 15th. That's when the advanced fission developer, Oklo, officially announced they'd picked Kiewit as the constructor for their very first commercial plant. And this is huge. This is the moment a project like this really shifts from just being an idea to becoming reality. Now it's all about pouring concrete and actually building the future of nuclear energy.
All right, next section, the key players. To really get what's happening here, you got to understand the two companies at the heart of this deal. You've got the innovator and you've got the builder.
And man, this partnership really lays out the whole dynamic perfectly. On one side, you've got Oklo. They're the fission pioneers, totally focused on developing these next-level power plants. And then on the other side, you have Kiewit, they're a true giant in the construction and engineering world. It really is innovation meeting execution.
Okay, so Section 3 is all about the project itself, the Aurora powerhouse. We know the who and the what. So now let's dive into the where and the when for this pretty incredible first-of-its-kind project.
Now, the location, this is absolutely crucial. This thing isn't just being built on some random plot of land. It's happening at the Idaho National Laboratory, a site that's already been approved by the U.S. Department of Energy. You can't overstate what a massive head start that is. It gives them huge advantages, both on the regulatory side and just logistically.
And check out this timeline because it really shows you they are not messing around. The big agreement was just signed this July. Pre-construction activities, they're starting this year, and their target to be up and running commercially as early as 2027. I mean, in the world of nuclear power, that is moving at absolute lightning speed.
Which brings us to our next section, the strategic why. This really gets to the most important question, right? Why this specific partnership and why right now? Well, it all comes down to combining their strengths to get this plant built as fast and as efficiently as humanly possible.
And this is so important. Oklo didn't just show up with a cool idea on a napkin. No, they came prepared. They already had the DOE-approved site lockdown. They've secured their fuel supply. And they've made real, tangible progress with the regulators. Basically, they took care of all the hardest, most specialized parts of the nuclear puzzle first.
And that is exactly where Kiewit comes in. You see, a huge part of building any power plant has nothing to do with the nuclear reactor itself. It's just standard large-scale construction. You know, concrete, steel, pipes, the whole shebang. So by bringing in Kiewit, Oklo gets to tap into their decades of experience to handle all that, which lets Oklo stay laser-focused on what they do best, the advanced fission tech at the core of the whole thing.
Okay, our last section here, an investor's perspective. Now, this whole strategy isn't just about good engineering. It's also about building confidence in the market. And to really understand that, our source material also gave us a peek at how the financial world is looking at Oklo's progress.
And the big context here is that all this progress is definitely getting noticed. The source we're looking at points out that Oklo's stock has actually been one of the best performing mid-cap stocks this year. So that kind of sets the stage for their bigger analysis of the companies in investment.
But that stellar performance does come with a bit of a caveat, at least according to the source. They ultimately conclude that, look, while Oklo definitely has potential, they believe that certain AI stocks actually offer a better risk-to-reward opportunity right now. And that's a really interesting counterpoint, you know? It just highlights the intense competition for investment money out there, even for technologies that could literally change the world.
So where does all this leave us? You've got a tech innovator partnering up with a construction giant to try and build faster and smarter. Is this just a one-off deal for Oklo? Or are we actually looking at the blueprint for how the entire next era of nuclear power gets built? That is the billion-dollar question that a project like this forces all of us to ask.